Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books and my birthday. So I think I'm gonna have this video scheduled to go up actually the day before my birthday. My birthday's on a Sunday. I hardly ever post videos on Sundays for some reason. I don't know, I just don't. Nobody notices, nobody cares. But whatever, I'll probably have it go up on Saturday, the 21st, the day before my birthday. And I am going to be 35 and I'm pretty jazzed. I'm like almost middle-aged, man. Weird. I can't remember if I've ever done this tag before on my birthday. I feel like I probably have. I don't know, but I'm doing it this year. 35, you know, it's like kind of a bigger birthday, right? A momentous birthday, I guess. I don't know why, but it is. You know, I'm halfway to 40. That's so weird. Well, I'm more than halfway to 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this decade, from 30 to 40. I'm halfway there. First prompt is Birthday Cake. A book with a plot that seems cliche, but you adore it anyway. Probably a lot, I don't know. Maybe Malice, like this whole series, it has some, you know, like The Chosen One and Prophecy and Good versus Evil, all those types of things that I think people could definitely say are cliches, but I really enjoyed it. This is the annoying thing about pulling books off my shelves. Then I gotta put them back. Number 2 is Party Guests, your most anticipated release for this year. My most anticipated? What was my most anticipated? I would say I'm pretty jazzed about Jade Legacy. I was also pretty jazzed for Son of the Storm, and I really liked that. I also was pretty jazzed, though, for Under the Whispering Door, and it was fine. It was fine. Those 3 probably were my most anticipated, and so far we're 50-50. So hopefully Jade Legacy brings it home. I've heard really good things about it, so from people who have had arcs and stuff. Prompt number 3, Birthday Presents. A book that surprised you with how much you loved it. I'm gonna go with one that I read last year, which I still don't own. I don't know, it's one where I'm like, I really liked it, and I was surprised by how much I did enjoy it, but I don't know if I'll ever reread it. But that is Elotsoe by Darcy Littlebadger. It is young adult. Yeah, I would say it's young adult, right? I don't know, this one, but it reads very young adult. The tone of it, like I would say a middle grader could read it, right? But yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised with this one. I don't know. I tend to be kind of hit or miss with younger YA when the tone is like that, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really cool, and the paranormal elements were really cool for me. I quite enjoyed it. So, Elotsoe. Prompt number 4 is Happy Birthday Song. A book that certainly deserved all the hype it got. I'm gonna go with Ring Shout because I had seen quite a few people hype this up. And that's why I wanted to pick it up, because horror-esque stuff tends to not be my jam. I just don't pick it up that often. So I think I probably wouldn't have picked this up had I not seen a few people being like, oh my God, one of my favorite books of the year, blah, blah, blah. And I read it and so great. So great. Totally deserved all the hype. And the hype that I've continued to see it getting. Basically, anytime I see someone pick it up, they end up thoroughly enjoying it. So, Ring Shout by P. Djeli Clark. Prompt number 5, Happy Music. A book with some very beautiful and truly memorable quotes. Do you know what I'm gonna pick? Do you know? I don't want to get up. I have 2 copies of it, but City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. Yeah, who's surprised? Or I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Either one of those. Or The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nevo. But mostly City of Girls. Prompt number 6, Getting Older. A book that you read a long time ago, but you think you would appreciate it more if you reread it as a more mature reader. I don't fucking know. I really don't know. I don't know, maybe like fucking Animal Farm or something. I read that a long time ago. Maybe I would appreciate it more. I'd appreciate it just fine at the time, but I don't know. I can't think of anything else, I guess. Prompt number 7, Sweet Birthday Memories. A book that kept you incredibly happy during a sad or demanding period in your life. So if I'm going through something that is demanding or making me sad or whatever, I'm going through a time in my life, I tend not to read all that much, honestly. That's when I tend to rewatch Vampire Diaries or True Blood or Jersey Shore or some just kind of inane, mindless thing that I've seen before, but that entertains me and distracts me mentally, because that's what I need in those times. But if I were now, having read this book several times, I definitely think it's my comfort book, and I could see myself popping on the audiobook of City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert if I just needed to feel good, you know? I think I would probably listen to that. But like sitting down to read a physical book when I'm emotionally distressed or just stressed in general, it doesn't tend to happen very often. And there we have it. Those are all of the prompts for the birthday book tag. I feel like as I get older, people always, especially being a woman, people are always like, how do you feel about getting older? Like, are you okay? Especially when I turned 30, everybody was concerned, you know, for how are you feeling about turning 30? Are you good? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I've just always been fine about getting older. Like it's a thing. We can't do anything about it. I don't know, that's kind of how I feel. Is like, I'm gonna get older and I want to get older, right? Like that's the goal. The goal is to make it to like 80 plus, 90 plus, right? That's the dream. So I'm getting closer and closer there. And I don't know, I enjoy life at every phase, at every point in my life. Like, was my life very different when I was 20? I mean, I was married when I was 25 and then divorced at 26. But yeah, it's like, what is the future gonna hold for me? I have no idea. And life is a fucking adventure, man. Like, we're here for a short period of time. And like, I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm trying to experience different things. Some of them might be bad and not fun, but it's still an experience, right? I've definitely had my fair share. Like 30, when I turned 30, I was in a not so great relationship, abusive relationship. And I got out of that when I was, how old was I? 32? Yeah. When I was 32. Right before I turned 33. Right? How old was I? Okay, now I figure out this is going to be. In 2021 I turned 35. In 2020 I turned 34. In 2019 I turned 33. In 2018 I turned 32. I was 31, just about to turn 32, when I got out of that relationship, and then that was a whole transitional time in my life. There have been several very big transitional times in my life, and I don't know. Like, were they difficult? Yes. And will I have more in the future? I'm sure I will. And I don't know, I just kind of look forward to whatever life brings, I guess, you know? That's how I look at it. I know I'm a resilient person. I know I am a strong person. I know I'll be all right, you know? So that's kind of how I look at getting older. It's an adventure. It's a journey. I'm here for the ride. And I don't feel 35. It's funny, like I'll watch, you know, different sitcoms and stuff. I rewatch sitcoms all the time, from the 90s, from the 2000s, whatever. And like watching Friends or Will and Grace, or I don't know, just various ones like that, where people are in their later 20s or their early or their mid 30s watching Sex in the City and stuff, and they're like hitting their mid 30s to late 30s. And I'm like, I just feel like a kid still. But I know I have a house, I own my car, I have a big kid job, and all of the things that come along with being an adult. I know I'm responsible. I pay my taxes, I pay my bills, I figure out stuff around my house. I'm very independent and self-sufficient and all of that. But I still just feel like a 21-year-old in my head, I guess. I don't know. It's so weird. I feel like it's like a generational thing. We just had a very different experience in life, coming of age, than our parents did, and then like boomers did for sure, being like and like Gen X to millennial to Gen Z, like I feel like we just have a weird growing up experience. It's strange. Anyway, yay, 35. I'm excited. And yeah, thanks for joining me for this little birthday celebration. And I will talk to you guys next time. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.